Plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose. What does that mean? The more things change, the more things stay the same.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Well, we're here again. It's everyone's favorite time of the year, the time of year when the Yankees lie to us about injuries. Is it lying? Yeah, at this point, I think it's lying. Let's just get into it. Okay, so I joked about this on the show the other day when Judge was only in the game for 2 at-bats, and after the game, no, I was only supposed to have 2 at-bats. And Boone said, oh yeah, no, he was only going to have 2 at-bats. And then we find out that he was placed in an MRI tube because of his abs bothering him. And why were Aaron Judge's abs bothering him? Because apparently, according to Aaron Judge, he's been swinging since November. Okay. I get that you're making a lot of money. You're the captain of the Yankees. You want to be the best, and working on your swing will make you the best. But November? November? Really? Swinging every day? That's what he claims. Swinging every day since November. That seems like overkill. I understand the whole staying in shape thing. You know, spring training isn't what it used to be. Spring training used to be guys would show up slightly chubby and figured, oh, well, we have 6 weeks to get in shape. That's basically what spring training was. And in the old days, when spring training first started, it was really for guys to detox because they were on winter-long benders, working on the farm, working as a bartender, working in a factory. These guys were regular guys with regular jobs, and they happened to play baseball. It's not like it is now. And understandable, that's 135 years ago. Like 1888, 89, like around there, right? So I understand the wanting to get into shape, wanting to make sure that you're okay for the season. But I feel like swinging since November is overkill, especially if in Aaron Judge's case, even though he missed those couple of months with the toe, he didn't have an issue with his swing. He was still hitting the ball. And if he didn't miss those 2 months, he could have easily been close to 62 again with the way at the rate he was hitting his home runs. So it's kind of funny to me that someone like Aaron Judge is putting that much work into his swing. It's admirable, I guess, but guys have to be careful because you hear about this a lot now. Jose Trevino, he wasn't late to spring training, or not late. He wasn't delayed in spring training appearing in a game because he only just appeared in a game this past weekend because he injured himself doing baseball activities. He was getting himself ready for the season, but he hurt his calf training. You know, it wasn't like he was coming back from the injury that ended his season last season. It was a calf injury that happened while he was training. So Judge says that it's his abs from swinging, wasn't his oblique. Nothing was found on the MRI. He's just sore. He's just going to take a few days off from swinging the bat. He was doing outfield drills on Tuesday, you know, catching the ball, doing stuff like that. But do we believe him? That's my problem. Do we believe Aaron Judge? Do we believe Aaron Boone? Do we ever believe the Yankees when they say, oh yeah, no, this guy's going to be fine? Because every time they say, oh yeah, it's just like even with Judge last year. Oh, it's just turf toe. Oh, okay, great. Oh no, it's a fracture. Oh, cool. He's going to be out 2 months. Oh, wonderful. He might have to have season-ending surgery. I mean, it just gets worse and worse. So do I believe that Aaron Judge's abs are okay and it's just like general soreness? Not really, because I don't trust anyone. I don't trust the front office. I don't trust the players. Prime example of not being able to trust players when they say something is not wrong with them, Anthony Rizzo. The man had a head injury last year. He was seeing double. He was foggy. He just wasn't feeling right. And he thought it was fine to go and play, which again, that sort of attitude is admirable, like you want a guy to want to play, but not to the detriment of his team and even himself and his healing. I have vertigo. I don't have it all the time, but when I have a spell of it, I don't want to do anything because your head just feels heavy and weird. And I know that he was feeling foggy and odd and not himself. And how do you go to the ballpark every day? Get up in front of guys who are throwing 98 and try to hit a ball when you're not feeling right in your head. So some of the responsibility falls on the players to let everyone know what's going on. But the Yankees also have to let us know what's actually going on, because eventually you're going to tell us. So why lie right away? Because this isn't an instance of them not knowing. This is an instance of them trying to keep things from us. And then things get blown up. Which brings us to Gerrit Cole. The one guy that the Yankees can't lose. We don't know what's wrong. And we still might not know. This show is going up on Wednesday. We still might not know on Wednesday. We might find out Thursday. Or maybe later Wednesday what's actually wrong with him. But the thing that worries me is, we don't think it's serious. And then, he's not making his opening day start. And then the news comes out that the Yankees are trying to get Dylan Cease now. Oh, okay. I thought they were all set with the pitching. So something's really wrong then, right? Just tell us. Instead of having us wait like this, freaking out. Because we are freaking out. So yeah, if the Yankees are going after Dylan Cease, something is really wrong with Cole. This might not just be a couple months. This might actually be a full season thing if they're looking for another pitcher. And from what Bob Nightingale said, the Yankees are not offering Spencer Jones for a trade. A lot of debate about that on social media, whether or not they should trade Spencer Jones for Dylan Cease. But I guess we'll find out how serious the Cole injury is at some point. But the waiting is the hardest part, right? Tom Petty sang that song how many years ago? And the not hearing any news is not, no news is good news doesn't work in this case. No news is excruciating, and it's making people panic and thinking worst case scenario. Because again, Gerrit Cole is very important to this team. He was basically the only sure thing in 2023, obviously, with the way he won the Cy Young unanimously and kicked butt most of the season, minus May. This is the worst case scenario. Even if it isn't a major injury, even if he's out only 2 months or the first half or something like that. But maybe this will light a fire under certain people's butts. Carlos Rodon. You never know. But if the Yankees are in talks to try and get Dylan Cease, I think they're saying a lot without saying anything. And that scares me. So coming up in segment 2, we're going to go through some of this subterfuge that the Yankees have been doing to us the past few years. And I'm going to wonder why, because I don't understand their end game when it comes to this stuff. But before we get to that, don't forget to reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday if you want your questions answered for Fan Mail Friday, or you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You'll get texts from me, and you've been getting a lot of them the past couple of days with all the injury updates. You can text me questions and comments. You can give me ideas for the show if you want to. If you want me to talk about certain things, let me know. There's a 14-day free trial. It's a lot of fun. And again, coming up next, I'm going to talk about the Yankees constantly lying to us. Prize Picks is North America's largest daily fantasy sports platform. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS because it's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and you watch the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with NBA, NHL, and college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, which is America's #1 fantasy sports app. And if you're into the NBA, you can pick more than or less than on everything from three-pointers made to turnovers committed. And for spring training baseball, you can pick more than or less than on pitcher strikeouts and first inning runs. So download the app today and enter code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, that's code LOCKEDONMLB, all one word, all lowercase letters, and get that first deposit match up to $100. Join Prize Picks today. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Welcome back to Locked On Yankees. After you're done here, make sure you watch Locked On Sports Today. It's the Locked On Network's 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and it's the first of its kind, which is pretty cool. You can put it on and watch other Locked On podcasts while you work, while you clean around the house, while you're exercising. That's Locked On Sports Today, streaming 24/7 on YouTube, and it's also on Amazon Fire TV because we have our network on there. How cool is that? So let's talk about the Yankees and how they treat injuries, because it is the bane of my existence, and I think it's the bane of everyone else's existence who watches the Yankees, because it seems to have gotten worse the past few years. I mentioned it in segment 1. It's always this, there's a pattern to it. There's a pattern to Aaron Boone coming out and telling us about said injuries. You know, whoever it is just needs a couple days, not a big deal. Then it's this guy sent for an MRI. Then it's this. And then it's 2 months of being on the IL because it's way more serious than they let us know about to begin with. And I'm sure in some cases, like Rizzo, they didn't know how serious things were. But there are other instances where you pretty much know right away if a guy's going to be out for a while, and you should just tell us. Why are you lying? It's going to come out anyway. And it makes us not trust you. I don't trust the Yankees. I joked about it the other day, and I said it in segment 1. When they said, I think I said it in segment 1, when Judge came out after 2 at-bats and they said, oh, yeah, no, he was scheduled to just do 2 at-bats. Uh-huh. I didn't believe it. I don't think any of you believed it, and we were right. And do I believe that this injury is not as serious as they say it is? No, because they constantly lie. It is constant at this point. And I don't remember a time when the Yankees were this bad when it came to injuries. And then I thought about it. The reason why they weren't so bad when it came to injuries is a lot of guys weren't getting injured back in the day. I wonder why. Could some of these guys have been taking stuff that made it so they weren't getting injured, or they could recover from injuries faster? Yes. One of my favorite things of all time, and I'm not accusing this person of doing anything, but when you think about the teams he played with in the 2000s, it wouldn't be a shock to find out that he took anything. But when Johnny Damon came over to the Yankees, he was on the IL, back then DL. Can't remember the injury, but I remember Michael Kay saying, oh, this is the first time in Johnny Damon's career that he's ever been on the DL. Again, that was years ago, so it was still DL. And I'm like, all these guys are suddenly starting to get hurt. Why is that? Weird. Very weird. But I don't remember Joe Torre being like Aaron Boone is now. And maybe Boone's hands are tied. Maybe we shouldn't blame Boone. The players have a responsibility to let the team know how they're feeling. But I feel like they have a responsibility to let us know what's going on. This is ridiculous because we're not going to trust them ever. No one trusts them. Everyone believes in the worst case scenario now. I joked about it today. I'm filming this Tuesday evening at 9:34 p.m. Luke Weaver was supposed to start for the Yankees in Dunedin on Tuesday afternoon, but he woke up with a stiff neck. Or I think he woke up with a stiff neck Monday, and then they pushed it back, figuring, okay, let's just give him a day. And that he was feeling a lot better on Tuesday, but they just wanted to be, like precautionary and just not. And I joked on Twitter. I said, yeah, we're going to find out he needs like a neck transplant on Thursday because that's just the way it is with the Yankees. I can't trust them as far as I can throw them. And with my bad knee, I shouldn't be throwing anybody. And if you get that reference, you're old. I just don't like this whole, oh, it's this. And then, oh, he might need to go in the IL. And then it's 3 months. And it almost happened with Peraza. We talked about the injury the other day. I don't understand these guys. I really don't. I just don't understand why they have to lie. Just tell us. Why did Aaron Judge come out of the game? Oh, he felt kind of funny on a swing. Because people were doing like the Zapruder film. I saw so many tweets of people who, because people screenshot games and moments from games, and they're like, look, he winced there when he, swung the bat. He made a face. That's the other thing. We're in 2024. People have games on their computers. They watch on the TV. They can screen capture. They can screen capture things on their phones. People put tweets up within seconds of someone hitting a home run. So you know that people are examining these videos like it is the Zapruder film. Oh, he made a face. Oh, he winced. It's something with his abs. It's something with his, core. Because I think someone said that. Oh, it's definitely his core. And then it turns out to be his core. Why lie? We see so much now, thanks to technology, that you can't lie about this stuff anymore. You just can't. And I don't know why they keep doing it. But let me know below what you think about this. Do you trust the Yankees ever when they tell you about an injury? Because I certainly don't. And I feel like the majority of Yankee fans think the same way. Maybe not people who are off social media, but most of the Yankee fans on social media. Don't trust them at all. Okay, I think I'm done ranting. I think, although I might feel like ranting in segment 3, even though I was going to do spring training odds and ends, and I have it in the rundown. So we'll talk about some spring training odds and ends, but I might also still rant about this. That's coming up next. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee, Game Time takes guesswork out of buying tickets. And Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With zone deals, you pick the section and Game Time picks the seats for big time savings. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Welcome back to the final segment of Locked On Yankees. So we're going to talk some spring training stuff, but not a lot because there wasn't really anything major happening. The Yankees played in Dunedin on Tuesday. They dropped the game 8-1 to the Blue Jays. There weren't a lot of regulars there, so not a big deal. Trent Grisham was there. Anthony Volpe was there. Jose Trevino was there. And the rest of the guys were just, guys playing because they don't send the regulars. Aaron Judge was doing outfield drills and catching with Juan Soto back in Tampa. And he'll be doing that for the next couple days, not swinging. So let me get back to my rant about everything. just about everything. I spoke about this on the show last week. The vibes were so good going into spring training, right? I felt hopeful because 2023 was so bad for the Yankees, and I mean bad for the Yankees. Other teams would kill to be 82-80, but for the Yankees, that's a disaster, okay? And coming into spring training, it just felt different. And even having Juan Soto around, it felt different. And Marcus Stroman coming in, and even Alex Verdugo, and it just felt like there was a little bit of almost like an injection of something. I don't know. I can't explain it. It just felt really good. And now it's Aaron Judge and Gerrit Cole injured, the two most important players on the team. Now, again, they're saying the Judge thing isn't serious. We don't know about Cole, but that could be a disaster. And it's just so depressing. Monday was one of the most depressing days in Yankee land in a while, just because Gerrit Cole doesn't get injured. He had that hamstring thing in 2021, and I think he was on the COVID IL also. But other than that, he's your workhorse. He's the guy who's never injured for a long time. So to hear the words Gerrit Cole and MRI in the same sentence was, it was like this. That's how I felt on Monday. I was nauseated the whole day, just thinking about how bad this could be. Because again, we were hopeful going into spring training. You thought, okay, maybe some guys are going to have bounce back years. The new guys are going to help. We're going to have Juan Soto on the team. It's going to be great watching these guys play. And then the bottom drops out. That's basically what happened on Monday. The bottom dropped out. Because I feel like you can lose Aaron Judge for a little bit of time. You cannot lose Gerrit Cole for a whole season. You just can't. Can you lose him for a couple months? Maybe. Someone might step up. But you can't lose him for that's a disaster of epic proportions. We still don't know the extent. From what they were saying, although again, I can't believe anything they say at this point, which is really bad. It's bad that I can't trust these guys. Because even Aaron Judge was saying, well, he was throwing 95-97. It didn't seem too serious. It's just he's not feeling well between starts. He didn't have a sharp pain. He doesn't have, I don't know. I feel like it's almost the same thing as Nestor, except it's elbow and not shoulder, which isn't great because they had to shut Nestor down last season. I feel like any scenario here is bad. They're already saying he's not going to make his opening day start. And they're trying to figure out who they could put in there. And not to, scare you. Not that this is scary, but, the Yankees open up in Houston. And who would you rather have opening day, Gerrit Cole or Carlos Rodon? No offense to Carlos Rodon, but I would rather have Gerrit Cole. And the prospect of not having Gerrit Cole for an extended period of time is really frightening. And I really don't want to end this on a negative note. I feel like this is a locked on therapy session. Steve and I used to always joke about that. By the way, Steve made it to Springfield, Missouri. Everything is good. If you follow him on Twitter, he showed a picture of the field that he will be working at all season. It looks very nice. But yeah, we always used to joke about when we would rant like this or talk about something and get heated. It was our locked on therapy session. So I feel like almost this entire episode was my locked on therapy session. And I thank you for staying through it with me. If you made it through this entire episode, leave purple in the comments. Just type purple. That's all I want you to do. So before I go, let me remind you, don't forget to join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description below and a 14-day free trial. You get texts from me about roster moves, about injuries, and you've been getting plenty of those the past few days. You can also text me questions for Fan Mail Friday. You will get top priority when you're an insider. If you are not an insider, you can always leave questions underneath the pinned comment every video Monday through Thursday. And if I can answer them, I will. So that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.